Greetings, it is I, once again, Apollo, bringing the power game on Down, Down, Up, Up. How's everybody do? The tongue obviously does not cooperate. Why? Because we just finished SummerSlam, baby. That's right, SummerSlam's done. The weekend is done. We got 2 more nights in Toronto, but the big show, the party of the summer, is over. Sadly. Was it good though? Was it bad? Well, depends on how you look at it. Let's run it down, see what we think. A reminder, my NXT TakeOver Toronto 2 result and review video is also up. Go check that out. But this is SummerSlam. So, kicking off the show, very disappointed the kickoff lasted 2 hours. It was a lot of talk and gibberish that we did not need. That's something that they do, in my opinion, need to cut from the Big 4 pay-per-views, excluding WrestleMania. Rumble doesn't need it. Survivor Series doesn't need it. SummerSlam doesn't need it. And would you believe it? We did get bonus matches announced. And sorry if my throat is going to sound a little scratchy in this. There's been a lot of shouting and excitement the past 24 hours. Going to try to clear it every so often. So, as I said, there were bonus matches late announced. To the day, as a matter of fact. So late that I could not even bring them to your attention if you were unaware. And my apologies. I was already at my bro's house, who was hosting that night for the show, and I just heard about them, and I was thinking, okay, why do we need this? But in all fairness, let's run it down first. So, before we get into the matches, a little highlight of the night that continued to reel was the 24/7 championship. However, they did not really utilize it to its full possible extent that night with the time that they had, because the show had a running time, supposedly of 4.5 hours. It did not last 4.5 hours on the main show. No. So R-Truth and Carmella were hiding under the kickoff booth desk. They were pretending to be other announcers along with the other foreign announcers that they announced some part through the show. Maverick was running all over the place trying to find them. It was good stuff. So, fun, but no title changes, nothing like that. It's a shame because we could have had a good running gag for the show like we did WrestleMania 18. I'm still waiting for them to do something like that on a pay-per-view. But let's get back to the actual pay-per-view. So, pre-show time. 3 matches, 2 newly announced, 1 already announced throughout the week, and I'm not really surprised it made the kickoff this time. It was the Cruiserweight Championship match that started this off. We had Drew Gulak, the champion, defending against the new #1 contender, Oney Lorcan. It was what it was. It was a good back and forth. Oney really hard-hitting, surprising Drew at times. I was watching Drew's face reactions throughout some of the match, and he looked like, oh crap, I'm in pain. This guy is freaking bringing the pain, honestly. But it took some resortment to get the job done. Gulak pulling the ring apron in as Oney is dragging him back into the ring. And as the referee is looking to take care of that, Drew with a punch or some sort of chop to the throat of Oney Lorcan. Enough to get him up for the Cyclone Crash, that Torture Rack neckbreaker. 1, 2, 3. Gulak retains the Cruiserweight Championship. Fair, done. I hope for a rematch on 205 Live that exceeds this level of competition. But it was fine. This was handled okay. Moving on to the next one. For some reason, and don't ask me why, Apollo Crews versus Buddy Murphy. I know, where did that come from? But the funny thing was, this was the match I was a little bit more excited for, because isn't this Buddy Murphy's TV debut? Think about it. Has he wrestled on SmackDown at all since he came up for the shakeup? I cannot recall a single SmackDown where Buddy Murphy was in action. Sanctioned one-on-one action. So this is it. And it was fine, actually. They had really good chemistry with each other. I'll admit, I liked what I saw. The reversals were swift. It didn't look sloppy. They were good. But here's the thing. Halfway through the match, I realized, wait a minute. There's got to be a reason we're doing this. And that reason was a tall man, an angry man named Rowan. That's right. About halfway through the match, Buddy Murphy's on the outside. Out of nowhere, here comes Rowan and starts mauling him. Big boot to the face, punching him out, hitting him on the freaking apron, and mentioning the phrase, "Don't mention my name." So, revenge for Buddy Murphy maybe accidentally spilling the beans on who attacked Roman Reigns. Rowan. Rowan retaliated against Murphy. Murphy won by disqualification. Rowan got what he wanted, and Apollo did not get pinned for the 6 millionth time. Didn't hate this. No, this was okay. It didn't need to happen on the kickoff, but this was okay. Mainly because, and here's a spoiler if you haven't seen the show already, there was no other segment for the Roman Reigns storyline the whole night. That is actually disappointing. Because you didn't book Roman in a match with anyone, along with so many others. No Drew, Andrade, Strowman, Ray, Sammy, Alistair, Cesaro. I could go on. But no, nothing. Big waste of time making this for SummerSlam and then not following it up on the main show. That's a bit disappointing. Okay, last match of the kickoff. It was a rematch from Raw of sorts. WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the new champions, defending against the former champions, the Iconics. Well, it was a good, fair enough match. Alexa Bliss was actually more face for this match. She came out with Buzz Lightyear gear and even did the pose, pretending the laser pointer. It was cute. They work well together, and they did get the win. Alexa Bliss able to hit the Sparkle Splash, aka Twisted Bliss, on Peyton Royce to retain the titles. This match didn't need to happen, but it was okay and expected. So moving on, that's the kickoff. Nothing terrible, storylines moving on, but at the same time, could have been made for other things. It's nothing to really complain that much about. So main show time. Okay, kicking off the show, bit of a surprise, it was the Raw Women's Championship. Yeah, think about that for a second. Becky Lynch, Natalya submission match for the Raw Women's Championship. Well, it was a good match. Yeah, both utilized their submissions well and stole each other's submissions to the chagrin of the crowd. And speaking of the crowd, it was more 50-50 than I would have thought. Yeah, not much Becky haters in there. Big surprise to that, honestly. I'm not saying I hate Becky or getting sick of her. I'm just saying it's getting stale. The Lacey Evans feud didn't help, just like the Corbin feud didn't help Seth all that time. So, yep, just getting a little stale, that's all. But regardless, the match was great. I found it pretty darn good. They had it under no disqualification, rope breaks do not work rule. And eventually, even though she had utilized the sharpshooter beautifully, Natalya found herself caught in the disarmor. Put up a fight, though, stayed in it for a bit, but finally tapped out. And Becky Lynch retained. Sorry, Natalya. Would love to have seen you win that match. Was really hoping a new challenger would step up to Becky after the match, but nothing. Just that was it. It was good, though. It was okay. Okay, match number 5. And yes, I do have my sheet. Because it's a long show, and I need to get the order right. So match 5. Okay, match 5 was a bit of a surprise this early, but at the same time, it didn't really matter. It was Ziggler Goldberg. That's right, baby. So Ziggler comes out, cuts a promo, Goldberg comes out, and spoiler, we had pyro for this show. I know, right? It's not WrestleMania. It's not a Saudi Arabia show. It's SummerSlam in Toronto. And we got pyro. Yeah, I only live an hour-ish away from Toronto, so with pyro being there made me feel really good. Goldberg got his pyro, lovely, and Ziggler, immediately after their stare down when the bell rang, super kick, one, only one. Another super kick, one, only one. Going for a third super kick, spear, a jackhammer, done. 1, 2, 3. So this is why Goldberg wanted to come back. Yeah, I'll admit, this is not a positive moment. The rumor had it that Goldberg was so annoyed with how his Taker match went, he wanted to work with someone who would make him look good and remind the fans how good he was. This wasn't the way to handle it, in my opinion. No. Not a squash. Not a squash like this. No. Should have had Ziggler work a bit more and more punishment, maybe even outside of the ring. Even though after the match was great because Ziggler kept bad mouthing him on the mic, Goldberg came back, gave him a couple more spears. Great. But this isn't how this should have handled. This should have been handled for Goldberg. I'm just saying, if Goldberg thought he was going to get that fan satisfaction with this, wrong. Wrong. I still remember the Undertaker match more clearly than this. This wasn't anything too special. So I'm sorry. That didn't work. But we're moving on. Okay, United States Championship match next. AJ Styles defending with the OC, Anderson and Gallows, against Ricochet. Ricochet looked like Nightwing the whole time. That was somewhat amusing. The match itself was obviously good. But the thing was, I was thinking the whole time, how is Ricochet going to win? Man, his momentum's been completely shut down. And how can AJ lose with the OC? OC were interfering like crazy until Ricochet goes for a crazy move, but Styles catches it into the Styles Clash. The finish was great, and AJ obviously retained. I just feel bad for Ricochet. I'm wondering what's next for him. What is next for him? Maybe somehow he can go after Nakamura for the IC title. That would be kind of cool. I'd like to see those two kill it, but that's just an opinion. That's just an opinion. Moving on. After the United States Championship match, we had the SmackDown Women's Championship match, I believe. And that wasn't so great. No, I felt really good making the simple pick for this one in the predictions, everyone. Bayley defending against Ember Moon. It was okay. And then Bayley just sort of won, hitting a Bayley to belly off the top rope. I don't know what to do with the Ember Moon character at this point. Her momentum and credibility has been seriously destroyed. Having Bayley help her out of situations the past couple of weeks, her pinned clean by Alexa Bliss. It wasn't believable that she would beat Bayley tonight, and she didn't. So, I really hope they can fix Ember Moon because she is a fantastic athlete. She's a great character. Her matches and feuds with Asuka and Shayna Baszler in NXT prove that. So, oh boy, that's something where we need to get fixed. Like, this was the low point of the show so far, in my opinion, was that. But we picked up again, though, because up next was Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens. I'll admit, you got me. I was really thinking that Shane McMahon was going to steal this, and we would have a kayfabe-fired Owens terrorize him for the next month or so. No, not how he went. Shane did get Elias to come out as the special guest enforcer, a.k.a. referee, on the outside, even though he was a little bit banged up from an incident that we will talk about in a little bit. Even though it was on the kickoff, we're going to talk about it a little bit. So, Shane, obviously Kevin's getting most of the offense, but Elias is tripping up Owens, distracting the referee from making counts after Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb, for example. Finally, after Owens takes down Elias and accidentally the official referee completely destroys Elias with a chair, about to destroy Shane with a chair, referee catches him. Kevin gives up the chair, saying you're right. But then as the ref's getting rid of the chair, very similar to Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano's first fall, a kick to the plums of Shane McMahon, the stunner, and the 1-2-3. Kevin Owens beats Shane McMahon, and he is still an employee of WWE. So, not bad. I hope we keep giving Kevin this great spotlight. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But now that we're through that and wondering what's going to happen next, let's get back to Elias. On the kickoff, he did a little song disrespecting Toronto's sports teams. No shock there. And as usual, interrupted. But by who? Edge. Edge came out. I was like, what? Hold on. He wasn't at Raw Reunion, but he's here. Okay, cool. Maybe a little trash talking back and forth, or Edge brings out somebody else to take care of this. They look at each other. And then Edge spears him. What? What? Holy crap. That got the pop of the night from me. That got the pop of the night from me. Because, hold on. Just hold on a second. Is this a tease? But I recall him doing no sort of physical anything in WWE appearances since he officially retired in 2011. Like, he couldn't. Are you telling me that after all this time, there was one spear left in him? Or are things happening again? Can Edge come back? That's what I want to know. And I haven't checked anything. This is all my initial reaction to the show. But Edge with the spear! What does this mean? Was this just a one-off? Did he have one more left in him? Or does this mean better things? I don't know. I don't know, but that got me out of my chair. That was crazy. I really want to hope for something with the man who really crushed me when he retired, being such a big fan, and oh my goodness, I could go on. Edge is obviously one of my favorites. I've always said Christian is my #1 favorite wrestler of all time. That's true. But you love Christian, how can you not love Edge? So let's just hope maybe there's a glimpse of hope that Edge can come back one day, because that spear really surprised me, regardless how safe it was. But let's move on. Whew, that got me going. Okay, it's time to get to this. Charlotte and Trish Stratus. Wow. First of all, good match, really good match, and it had the crowd going the middle of it too. They weren't really reacting right away, but then these two started to pick up the pace. I'm not gonna lie, my heart sunk though when Charlotte she kicked out of Stratus faction. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. And then the chick kick, which really didn't look all effective, kicked out. Charlotte eventually coming back, figure eight, even though Trish stole the figure eight in the match, which was a great spot. And Trish tapped out. Oh, shoot. So Kevin was the Canadian babyface getting it done tonight. That's what the thing was. Because Natalya did not win. I figured at least one of the ladies would be picking it up. And I thought it would be Trish. But no, Charlotte won. Crushing the hopes and dreams again. This one hurt me more than it may have hurt others. Trish had her good send-off after getting the cheers and everything, but I just wanted to see her win this match. Boo you, Charlotte. Boo you. Boo you. You're great, but boo you. Because I don't really see her going for a title right now, and if it's Bayley's, then nah. Bleh. Still great to see you, Trish. All right, let's keep going, though. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's get back into the loop. Oh, back in the loop. I shouldn't have said that right now. WWE Championship match. Okay. Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton. I gave my opinion of what needed to be done in this match and my predictions. And did it happen? Well, believe it or not, half of it sort of happened after a decent back and forth and a catching RKO with no pin. That really surprised me. I'm thinking, what is he doing? Why is he just laying back laughing? Or is he in pain or something? Kofi rolled out to the outside. Randy then takes his time on the outside, seems to get distracted by Kofi's kids in the front row mouthing him off. And then the referee just counts them both out. What? What? Really? Why can't we have a good ending to a WWE Championship match at SummerSlam? Why can't we? I'm amazed to say this, but the last good ending was Ziggler and Ambrose in 2016. Mahal hit a crappy Colossus on Nakamura in 2017. The dumb DQ with Joe and AJ last year. Even though it did good things for the feud, it was a feud that wasn't worth saving at the end. And now this. Oh my gosh, but the amazing thing is, I can't hate on it that much. Why? Because it means the feud is not a one-off. That's why. I want this to go to Hell in a Cell. So, okay, Kofi Kingston keeps the championship for now. Great. Orton doesn't lose. Great. We'll see what happens at Night of Champions, Clash of Champions, whatever you want to say. Doesn't matter to me. But we'll see what happens at the next pay-per-view. Because, oh man, this is getting my head break. Because if Orton didn't win it here, I'm almost worried to say that Orton is going to win either the next pay-per-view or Hell in a Cell, which I still have in my mind for the booking. And Kofi won't get it back. It's why I really wanted to see Randy win at this show, but he didn't. At least I can say Kofi's still champion. I love Kofi, and I'm really glad he's still champion. But I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Ugh, okay, but now it's time to get into the really good thing. Oh, I'm talking about Finn and the Fiend, baby. So what were we gonna get? Well, Finn Balor came out doing his usual shtick, nice white jacket and all that, but now we're waiting for Bray. Oh, now we're waiting for Bray. What is this entrance gonna be? What are we gonna get out of this? Okay, Firefly Funhouse promo with the little song, little puppets. Then it cuts. Then the arena gets darker. Then we get the big red words on the Tron, let him in. And then we get a sort of a new music. Sounds like a rock of something. But then the familiar lyrics play. Catching flies. Wow, I did not think he would keep that theme. I was very pleased to hear that theme as a new rock version. Sounded badass. I mean it. If you need to see Bray's entrance, it's up on WWE on YouTube. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. He comes out looking great, and he still carries a lantern, except this time it's his old head holding open the light, and he's grabbing it by the hair. Oh, it's just so creepy. We finally get to the ring and the crowd is already hyped. Bray obviously keeps the mask on, and the whole match it looks like he's struggling with himself what to do, really playing this demented character. Finn does come back and hit his stuff, which was disappointing, but Bray catches the coup de grace into a mandible claw and wins by pinfall with it. So, he's keeping that move. Very happy to see that. And that was it. They didn't give us too much, but they did not give us too little. This was fantastic. I'm really glad this was saved. Because for the love of God, it seems like every time this man brings out a new character, WWE always put it in the ground. Bray Wyatt coming to WWE in 2012, 2013 was beautiful. But then after a while, down into the ground. This Bray Wyatt. Lord, how are they going to mess this up in a few months? We're going to find out. We're going to find out, but hopefully not, because this guy knows what he's doing. Now it's time to talk about the main event. Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Universal Championship on the line. What they've done to Seth has been ridiculous. Do we get any redemption factor at SummerSlam between these two? Well, we got an actual match, which was nice, not something silly. And after 3 curb stomps, I cannot believe I am saying this, but Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar clean for a championship. Oh, man, my head hurt after that. Oh, wow. But you know what? I sort of get it. You know why all this crap was made on? Because they didn't want us to see it coming. Oh, I'll admit, I'm not up in the loop about everything that goes on the internet. I only hear what I hear occasionally. I don't even have a Twitter. I'm not an Instagram person either. So, I hear what I hear. But Seth Rollins beating Brock Lesnar clean. Wow. Wow, what does this mean? What does this mean? I feel like it's almost like a bigger step toward the future, I want to say. Unless Brock just wins it back at the next Saudi show, then oh gosh, man. Even though Brock was on my good side, and sort of still is. He put over Seth Rollins clean. I love Seth Rollins. I just don't love what WWE's done to him lately. But he won, and I didn't see it coming, but I couldn't pop because I just didn't understand. So, oh man, the future is now, and hopefully the Rollins reboot is now. And that's it. Oh, wow, that is it. Thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you thought about SummerSlam and where do you think we're going to go from here. I am exhausted. I am going to go have some breakfast. Thank you all. Keep it real.